Logitech again has launched two new mice, the Pro 2 and the Superlight 2 DEX, which we're going to get to in a second. I'm just a little surprised by the Pro 2 light speed, as it looks very much like the very first Pro series they released from their wireless series before the first Superlight came out, which was basically a lighter version of this. And also, I'm not too sure if it had buttons on both sides back then, but yeah, this has 4 side buttons. And it only goes up to 1K hertz, which is surprising because it weighs more at 80 grams. But yeah, 1000 hertz polling rate. And I'm not too excited about this one, actually. I'm considering not even unboxing it, and maybe we can give it away on Twitch or something. What I'm more excited about is actually the Pro X Superlight 2 DEX, which says 4000 polling rate on the box, but Logitech told me it was 8000. So we're going to install it and take a look at if there's some sort of firmware upgrade that gives us the 8K. Because when I got the Superlight 2, it only supported 2K, and then there was a firmware update supporting 4K. But that's not what I'm most excited about when it comes to this mouse. It's actually its shape. So I've been using a lot of Logitech mouse versions here. I love Logitech when it comes to using them for headsets and mice. And I asked them for a Shroud once and tried that out, and that sort of traumatized me because it felt so good. And it taught me a lot about having a correct mouse grip. However, when I went back to the Superlight, it doesn't really allow you to get that grip. But I figured it out, and I started holding a little bit like this to have my hand aligned with my wrist. But it's not very consistent. Sometimes you lose your grip, and I had to think about my grip for quite some time. That's not the case with the Superlight 2 DEX, because this is a right-handed model, and they have given it curves. The exact curves that I felt were missing on this. So let's open this up and take a look at it. Speaking of giveaways, I'm not the only one who's going to run some giveaways with Logitech products. Logitech themselves are having their annual Logi Play Days, and I'll leave a link in the description below where you can join in and win a bunch of stuff, you too. Oh my god, is it? I think it's higher. How's the weight, by the way? The weight. This is gonna be good. I think it's, oh yeah. Another feature. It's slightly more tall or higher, I don't know what to say, than the Superlight 2, which is something I am very appreciative of. I feel like I want to get my palm down there sometimes. But I'm not going to say too much yet. This is before it's launched, by the way, several days before. So I'm going to use it quite a few days before you're watching this video to give you my honest review. But off rip right now, holding it, I'm pretty excited. It feels good. Just as I said with the grip there, I don't have to put an effort to get my little vertical pinky there. And oh, yeah, okay. We got to install this right away. Let's get that plastic off. Let's take a look at what else is in the box first here, because I'm pretty sure there's like a Super Glide. There usually is a Super Glide pad there. As you see, there's like this power play. I think this is like a wireless charging thing. So if it's anything like previous models, we do get a lighter Glide here. Or maybe this is the charger, actually. Let's take a look. Most people actually like to take this out fully and not use any of these to shave off another half a gram or so. Yeah, we're going to use this one because it's an extra. Cut. Did I do that right? What is going on here? Yeah, it's usually a magnet. Oh, okay. I had to line the magnets up. So, unfortunately, I don't have a hand cam at the moment. I did lose my little adapter to the hand cam up there when I was in LA. So I'm sorry about that, but hopefully we can do without. I'm just too excited to even use this cable. Let's see if our Superlight 2 cable will be enough. Let's plug that in into the receiver, off rip, just like that, and turn our baby on. And we have indeed contact. I am not getting it detected in the Logitech G Hub. Don't know why. So I'm guessing since the mouse hasn't launched yet, they haven't launched the software support for it either. Let's take a look if we can use onboard memory manager to at least get our DPI up. I'm using raw Excel to cut my DPI down, which is why it's so slow at 800. Okay, so for now, we can only use 2K. I think we're going to have to wait for Tuesday night before we can actually take a look at the software here. So I'll see you then. On a final note, before we BRB, perhaps the most important note is its weight. So even though it's slightly larger than the Superlight 2, I think it weighs exactly the same. If I remember correctly, the Superlight 2 weighed 60 grams. And it should say here on the box that the Superlight 2 DEX weighs, yes, 60 grams as well. So technically, it's a little bit lighter since it has a little bit more size, which is a W. I figured the best way to demonstrate the performance of the Superlight 2 DEX was to play my previous main game, Warzone. And even though I actually haven't played the game for 2 months, I still felt like it was the easiest way for me to deliver the most correct accession. Unfortunately, by the time I'm recording this gameplay, or even now as I'm editing this video, Logitech still hasn't released the update for G-Hub for me to try out the 8000 Hz polling rate. So for now, I'm only going to be able to share my opinion on the 2000 Hz polling rate, even though most people like to argue that on a 240 Hz screen, you cannot notice the difference. But I like to think faster is always better. So let's start with the most obvious question that most of you probably are asking. The shape of the mouse. And off rip, it really reminded me of a very classic old mouse called the Microsoft IntelliMouse. This was a very popular choice by CS players back in my golden days. And for CS and other low sensitivity games, I would say this mouse is perfect. But I'm not so sure that people like the lightweight with bigger mice at the same time. I cannot speak for myself here since I'm a high sensitivity player in all the games that I play today. And that brings me to the point where I myself unfortunately am very disappointed on how it felt for me. I spent 7 hours straight today playing Warzone. And most of you above average mouse and keyboard players in Warzone understand that I needed at least a couple of hours to get my muscle memory back. But even 7 hours in, it was still a struggle. And the problem for me is that I can't micro adjust with my fingers, something that the Superlight's smaller size is perfect for. But with the DEX, I'm quite convinced that I would do a lot better if I was still on a palm grip. And there's nothing wrong with using a palm grip. In fact, it's the most ergonomic and comfortable way to handle your mouse. But ever since I tried the Shroud mouse, as I showed you in the beginning of this video, I just cannot go back for my hybrid claw grip, which allows me to use my fingers, palm, wrist, and arm. And I just could not get this to work for me with the DEX. I just felt clumsy. And in a high-intensity game like Warzone, that is a huge no bueno. But who knows? I'm going to try some PUBG tomorrow, and maybe I'll do better there. Right now, I can't even look at the mouse. But it's probably not even the mouse's fault. I think I've developed some sort of mental allergy to Warzone. I cannot get through a full day without getting a very negative attitude, which is the main reason why I have started to get into variety more. I'm obviously going to have to give it another go when the 8K polling rate releases, but I don't really see a reason to make another video on this about that. So if you want to know more, please come follow me on Twitch. I'm live all weekdays. I'll leave a link for that in the description as well below. And honestly, the whole reason I make these YouTube videos is to get exposure so you can find me and come over to Twitch because I love having people to talk to in chat. But let's get back to the mouse and talk about the final conclusion about this review. If you have large hands, this might work for you in any type of game, play style, or grip. Me, myself, I'm a medium size when it comes to hand size, and I will most likely be sticking to the Superlight 2 Pro. I would do the Shroud mouse if they had a Superlight version of that with a higher polling rate. Believe me, I would. If you play low sensitivity with a palm grip, this mouse might just be perfect for you. That's it. I appreciate anybody watching this far. If you could take your time to leave a like to help this video reach as many viewers as possible, and maybe even drop a comment what you think about the mouse, even though you may not have tried it yet. Enjoy the rest of this match, and please don't compare it to when I used to play Warzone daily, and have a great rest of your day. No! So bullshit, bro! Oh my god, I'm alive! Ah! I'm choking too much right now. What the fuck, man? Ah. Getting away from that guy, bro. Yikes. What an annoying guy.
Less than 10, we're still standing.
Where's the glint, bro?
They hit us hard that time. Let's regroup and get back up there, yep.
Oh, I can't believe that I would have need another self.